Yo, what's up, everybody out there in TV land? You caught me in the middle of a stretch. Oh, goodness gracious. What an adventure Dadland is. Yeah, so the little ones are not feeling good. We had a big neighborhood barbecue with a few of the neighborhood kids. Are not feeling too hot. Turns out one of the adults that showed up there may have been ill. Dude, if you think you're feeling sick, don't go to the neighborhood barbecue. Like, for real? For real? Yo, what is up, Ben? Good to see you out there, Omer. Yeah. Yeah, you know, like, as soon as I've got the stream set up, I just throw up the static. Sometimes I do that. Haldir, what's up, dude? Out there dropping some links. Yeah, that's right. Wednesday nights, man. That is the Wednesday show. That is the Wednesday show. Yo, Lord Sandwich, the defender of flavor, our hero and knight in shining armor against the tofu tyrant. Yeah. Oh, awesome. You'll be working in the garage? Okay, cool. Yo, Edwin, what's up? I saw you here earlier. I don't know if you're still around. I don't know if anybody's still around. What's up, Scarlet Fever? Yo. So, I'm a little bit out of it. I've been up most of the night. I was up until like 4:30 in the morning. And man, just, so I could drink some water, try to drink, some milk, because milk's high calorie, got proteins, got tons of stuff. So, if you gotta like go on a liquid diet, be able to do that. What's that? I got my computer and area torn apart to install a 4x4 CNC router. Ooh. We might need to talk, because I know what kind of shenanigans you can get up to. Yeah, dude, don't be the plague bearer, man. Just kindly let people know, hey, I'm not feeling so hot, Yeah, that's Deadland. That's Deadland for you. It is. Nope, I should have it like this. Yeah, I'm a little out of it, because then I was up at 8 in the morning. I probably had like maybe 3.5 hours of sleep. Good thing I've got my slice of coffee right here. I like my coffee by the loaf, for real. Of course, we got a little bunny girl up there in the corner. Little bit of waifu action going on today. I know people seem to enjoy the waifu, so I'm like, oop, that's the wrong one. So, I feel a little pressured into trying to come up with new stuff. So, yeah. Let's see here. Working in the studio. So, yeah, today, I was going to announce auctioning off these art pieces. Right? I was like, dang, man, how am I going to sell this? How much do I sell them for? And you know what? I was like, I've got social media and I've got time. So, I am going to auction off the, not this one. This one, I'm going to announce this one on Wednesday. All right, we're going to start, we're going to auction this one off. Well, actually, we're going to auction this one off on Friday. Friday's when we're going to do that one. Looking for the button that makes the thing go thing. So I'm going to auction up this one first. This one was a fun one to do. The Maniac, of course, with Harry Liggins there, whose demise is imminent. Look at that. He making pants water. He's making water in his pants. I had fun. Dude, Ben colored this one. I gotta grab that, actually, while I'm thinking about that. Ben colored this one. Yeah, it drives away Mo Biggs, but and he is one of my super wrenches over here. Yeah, dude, Frog Tony's comic. Oh yeah, no, dude, we gotta talk about that stuff sometime. Yeah, oh yeah. No, see, that's I've got some hallmarks to my art, and one of that is that I do sneak, like, I do love little details, little details, lots of little details, no detail without purpose. Yeah, no, I knew I should have made it bigger, but it's like, it's like when I hid the buy it now prices for these two pieces. You would have to be at your computer and open up the picture. You would actually have to interact with the picture directly, and there in the picture description was the price. That's all right. There's always time. Oh, that's right. That's why I went to the thing. Gosh, I have too many tabs open. Wife was doing some research too. See, I'm lucky and I'm cursed because I married a smart one, and that's a blessing and a curse. I'll tell you what. Let's see here. So I'm gonna grab this picture because I thought the colors came out great. It's a lot of fun. We're gonna copy. Oh no, I wanted to open image in new tab. Boop. Oh yeah, you got it nice and high res too. Cool. We're gonna copy the image. And I love this feature from Clip Studio. Create new from clipboard. Look at that, man. That came out beautiful, dude. I'm gonna pop this out. Oh, wait, no. I forgot. That's kind of a hassle to then get that all set up. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. I love the veiny poppiness. Yeah, I don't know his colors, but that came out great. I'm entertained. I like the little highlights and stuff. I like some shading on the cracks. I did. Yes. Hell yeah, dude. This is fantastic. Ben, you got a wrench, don't you? You should be able to drop the link to your X account. Anything else you want? Got a 3/4 answer from Johnny Rocket. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. Yeah. I am sneaky. I am sneaky. True story, I was required by my friends at college to wear jingly things. Because even though I wore like big old boots, I've always loved giant boots. I just kept sneaking up on people and scaring the crap out of these people. Yeah, no, dude, for real. Oh, especially, have you seen the color themes that he's using for EDGEPUNK, man? Dude, he was not kidding. No, dude, full Toxicolor. Full Toxicolor. Ooh, yeah, there we go. So go, make sure you, if you're over there on the X, that you go follow this fine gentleman. Yeah. Dude, when I was a corrections officer, scared people by accident all the time. Yeah, no, dude, sometimes you're just sneaky. And I don't mean to be sneaky. I'm sneaky. I'm very happy to be finally getting back into doing physical things. It's been too long, man. Like, I think time will slip out from underneath you before you know it. I spent too long stuck behind a desk and all this other stuff, and having every excuse as to why I couldn't just get outside and go exercise for an hour. You know, now I've got a tree that we cut down this last fall. Cutting up all the pieces. I've got two like nice 8 to 10 inch branches. Good long sections, healthy, viable wood that I've kept nice and stored over the winter. And we're gonna grab. I want the heartwood from that, and I want like Boken. It's an ash tree, so it's good hardwood. So I'm gonna get a couple of Boken. Yeah. You gotta do that. Let's see here. Okay, coloring mentor. Yeah, I love this. I love Vasilis. I was talking with my coloring mentor, Scotsman, solid dude and amazing colorist, and he even said that Vass colors like he is colorblind in the best possible way. I know. And it really does seem to that whole thing in full Toxicolor. Like, yeah, and ash is good stuff. And I lost all, like, dude, I had a white oak Boken, I had a red oak Boken, I had swords, I had kukri, I had axes and knives and all sorts of fun stuff before the disasters escaped from Los Angeles. Only without riding a surfboard on a tidal wave. That would have been better. Lost most of my stuff, right? I've been practicing combat arts. Gosh, I started with crane style kung fu, and immediately like I jumped into American Kempo and Chinese Kempo and Shotokan, and I was like, martial arts are like Pokemon. I gotta collect them all. I'm nuts like that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't touch a tree like that. Yeah, the city made us cut it down. We were expecting a really harsh winter. Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is something I've rolled with those guys before, and we did like fun grappling and stuff. And I definitely found that going to the I've always been of the mindset if you go to the ground, you're going, you know, only go to the ground when you're going to be 6 feet under it. Right, dude. Anything, anything, not to go to the ground. All right, that was something I trained by for the longest time. But I found a really good school locally in my small town where I live. It's called The Shed, and I love that. I'm like, hell yeah, take me out back to the shed and get a whooping. And so I'm finally getting back in shape. But the colors on this are really cool, dude. They really are. All right. Let's open up the cockpit. And I'm okay on the ground, but I dislike it a lot. I'd much rather throw hands. Yeah, well, even standing grappling and stuff like that, like get them to the ground. You don't go to the ground or move and manipulate them. Like I found that I lucked out. I had a good instructor who actually understood what it was about, and I didn't get fed a bunch of, you know, well, you hit them on the 39th spleen and then their eyeballs explode. Teachers, right? I hate those guys. The bullshito masters. Oh my god. Right? Yeah, no, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I kind of had fun with it. I was kind of going with a like that Sam McKeith kind of just energy, right? But like a little bit of Beasley for like the muscles in the angry face, and then for like the muscles themselves, I totally was thinking Megaton Man. Like this guy needs too many muscles. Like in an obviously ridiculous way too. Like I am mocking too many muscles. And I was talking about something else we'll go into in a second. And then for like the shading, I was like, Arcrum. Yeah, you hit their chakra and their butt scoots and then butt scoot towards them so they fall on your guard. That's right. Right. Hit them right in the chakra. Anyway, I was going to open up the cockpit. Jeez, I got distracted. Yeah. Yeah, I've studied some straight bullshit martial arts too. That just looked pretty. Oh, awesome. No, I'm a fan of your colors, dude. I love it. Nice to be fellow fans. Let's see here. To jump in the cockpit. Only I spell it COCPIT. And we're going to paste the link. That's the StreamYard link. And then we're going to go over to our YouTube, right? And we are going to replace the pinned message. Jeez. Yeah, I'm a total wreck today. I didn't even get a chance to get my laundry done earlier today. Because it was barbecue weekend, so of course we got extra clothes to get clean because there was water and mud and trampolines and a tire swing. All sorts of funny stuff. So what I was working on this promo piece. I've been kind of toying with it. And I gotta fix it up a little bit. Okay, good. Okay, because I don't want to ignore the chat. But what I've been doing, I'm not even working with the pen today. I'm just straight rectangle, right? Let's go ahead and we're gonna size both these gals up because I'm working on some composition for a promo piece. Interesting. Alright, so, I don't know. It just decided it didn't want to work with the head. That's kind of funky. Or work with the thing. So let's make them both this big. And then we're going to increase the size of Scalpel Zero just a little bit. Just a little bit. Of course, these are both like super rough, right? Super rough. Keeping them on their own layers.
We could do nothing to stop them.
And, you know, it'd probably help if I just lined them both up. One is slouched, the other one's arched. And then I was thinking if I we went and flipped it like that and said okay. I don't want them facing each other. That was something that came out of my head. I was like, you know what? No, they shouldn't be facing each other. They should be facing outward. Like they are facing mutual threats. Right? Don't want them too close to each other. But at the same time, yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and grab our movie tool. What? Oh, you're not going to let me do that, huh? Okay, fine. Be an asshole. Pardon me. Holy smokes, man. Okay. Can I? Okay, I can just grab that. So, this little line right here, that is, it's about the size of a comic page. I mean, granted, this whole picture is already the right aspect ratio. It's 12 by 18, and so 12 is divided by 6 2 times, and 18 is divided by 6 3 times. So that is a 2 to 3 aspect ratio. That is your standard comic ratio. Comics usually work at about 10 by 15 in your active area, right? So I just got that kind of there. So and I've also got a center line, so that way I'm kind of keeping an eye on things. You know, I might even. Now, I did these full body for a reason, because I just wanted to, just in case. I mean, I had some idea, right? I was working on an analog piece, and I'll show you here in just a second. I was working on an analog piece, and see, they're supposed to be in the foreground. And see, if I put them on a lower third, then they are, just logically speaking, oppressed, in danger of, they're under threat, right? So, or something is looming over them. It's the problem, right? So you're thinking about cover composition. In this case, this isn't a cover. This is going to be a promo piece that I'm going to be slapping around all over the place, and whatnot. And if I can get things squared away, because I've like for real, I got a medical bill that is like leaning on me hard. See, I kind of, and see that puts. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. But that kind of puts, if I do like that, I make them just a little bit bigger, right? But I'm running dangerously close. You know, we're over here in the danger zone on the edges, right? So that would be our bleed loss. So, of course, I'm going to reduce this. And this is our 2x3 active area. So, and I had a revelation the other day, and I'm not going to do it with Apex Predator because that one's already formatted. I'm not going through reformatting all those pages and stuff again. That's just asinine to keep doing that, especially when I've got most of the blue line stuff done. I'll be showing off probably next week. I'll be showing off. I'll start doing the red line pencils to clean it up a little bit and just fix minor errors. And then once I've got the red line pencils done, then I'm going to go straight to inks. And we're going to get funky with that one. We're going to use a lot of digital effects. So it's going to be cool. And that's going straight to EDGEPUNK Magazine. There's no crowdfunder for that one. That one's going straight to EDGEPUNK Magazine. When the Apex Saga is done, then I'm gonna I'll crowdfund a book for that. But in the meantime, yeah, this you sign up for the Neon Revenant. So that's from King Link, dude. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a really, really good one. Go check out that. Click that link. I wish I was living the dream. But EDGEPUNK is really wild, dude. That thing is a trip, and it's good. It's really good, you know. And I totally forgot to pop up the banner here because, you know, they do support this channel. They do help me out. You know, I've got my spot. We, you know, and we do a little ad share and stuff like that, because I like that one, dude. Like, that's an underground magazine. It really is an underground magazine, and it's one that you got your digital copy, right? Like, you can go log in. When you buy a physical copy, you get your digital copy as well. So you log in with your special key, do the edgepunk.net and go read your magazine, and then when you're clicking like on the ads and on the videos, and you shoot, even while you're reading like some of the stories and the comics that are in there, like some of that stuff's got like Easter eggs. I know that I'm hiding some fun stuff in that. Yeah, and it's a very Shadowrun style of, like, without like the fantasy monsters and stuff, but it does kind of have like some fantasy aspects. It's kind of like it's got an RPG included in it, so it is a full immersive experience. So if you really wanted to play, and then you go play a game, and you're like, oh yeah, well, you know, my character is going to flaunt his copy of Cyberfrog in mid condition. Like, you could do that, like, and it's legit, right? And of course, for artists, writers, and stuff like that, your stuff is licensed for that issue only, and that's it. So it's also like when because they are going to be releasing a tabletop RPG book with supplements and all this other cool stuff too. That when that comes out, like, that's also one of not only does it have like articles and stories and comics and music and all sorts of crazy stuff, like all sorts of crazy stuff. Like I've been talking to Takomi about what we can shove in there, and like apparently there's like some cool stuff. There is some cool stuff. So hidden media lost. Some of this stuff is like, dude, like in true underground fashion, go find something that people thought was lost and shove it into a hiding place and give it to everybody. Yeah, no, they've been just keeping their head low. They really don't like the interpersonal negative dynamics, shall we say, whereas other people would call it drama. I would just say it's just people not being nice to each other. Really, it's like 90% of it. Pardon me. Little coffee on the lips. Yeah, so I've got we've got Neon Revenant that's coming out from Rock Hard Comics. I'm the interior artist on that. We've got Corey Barton, Mike McMahon, and Renee. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce her last name, but we've got the 3 covers from them. Now, see, I'm sure they would love to help too, you know. And it's cool because it's everybody's welcome there, dude. There was this one guest on over on Liam Gray's stream. He really did, like, he dropped a painful pill to swallow. for a lot of these folks out here in indie comics to swallow, that if you are in or around Comicsgate, you're Comicsgate. Rippaverse, you're Comicsgate. You know, unless you are like Larry Higgins and like screaming, crying about Comicsgate and just being a total tard on the net, then sorry, you're Comicsgate. And that's because you stand in protest of the crappy stuff, and you're building something. You're building something new. You're building something meaningful. Like these guys out there, like Dave Brink, you know, bam, he doesn't carry a banner, doesn't wave a banner or anything like that, you know. But it's like, yeah, no, it really is. And dude, tabletop game, World War Hell, man, no. We'll be looking for more people, especially when it comes to, yeah, me too, man. You know what? 7 years on, I've been here. I ain't going anywhere. Yeah, and it's just the punk indie spirit. And there's different aspects. And that's what makes it such a beautiful thing, is that, you know, it's like these blind sages trying to describe an elephant. You're right. You heard that one. One's holding on the truck. It's a snake. And, you know, another one's like touching up on the leg. And it's like, no, it's not. It's a tree. And the other one's near the butt. He goes, I don't know what it is, but it smells like shit. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, beautiful. 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 Love it. Yeah, because it's good. It's got a fast system. Fast. Straight. To the point. We got our proprietary measuring device, which is basically some parachute cord that is just marked, and we've got it in the rules. Like our initial rule book reads like the rule book from Risk. Like it's straight to the point, and it defines everything. And then you've got your order of operations and whatnot. Like. It's fast. It goes quickly. There's no arguing over minutia with World War Hell. You're there to play a game, and it's wild. Like the premise, and we've only kind of leaked a little bit of it because there are some reveals that are going to be fun, like to see firsthand and be like, dude, I remember, right? I remember that day when the angels came down from high. And instead of being our saviors, they started burning everything. Yeah, Devil Flyer, dude. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, dude, Rex has been knocking it out of the park, and that reminds me, I gotta finish up this last bit of color corrections on this thing for Rex and get it out to him, and then we start inking that other thing. So yeah, we were supposed to be working. So let's see here. I do like that. We're just gonna say okay for right now, so I can always undo it. Doesn't matter. It's all just super loose, sketchy. Right, we're just working out some layouts. So then I could put something like right up here, right? And it can't be. See, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna bring them down. So we're just gonna don't bring me down. Do. A little suicidal tendencies. Yes. Yes. Bring it up a little bit. Because you're both kind of like slouching, and they are the same height. So it'll just make it a little odd. to do stuff. I've adjusted them so many times, but I just want it to be a good promo piece. And I got two tacticals. I don't know. I just thought of that one like just now. And then I put like big Soviet Borg up here in top. This guy from this page. This big scary guy. He grab, he slam, he stomp. He has no time for bullshit. Yeah, this is the old stuff. I'm gonna be drawing over it, doing some minor corrections, stuff like that. But yeah, just so you see the story. We start out the story, you know, a little heavy. Pick it up at the end. I'm gonna detail in the cyber eye all busted up, the sensor array, because that's that little thing right here on the nose. That's a sensory extension, forward-facing sensory extension. Just hooks right in there, boop, straight to the processor. And yeah, no, that's not a mental illness haircut. Well, I don't know. You'd have to wonder somebody's state of mind when they get themselves into a situation where they're exploded a few times. You know, at that point, you just kind of gotta wonder. They're not right. They're not right in the head. Yeah. We open up in jungle. Come on, it's that open. I have to be real careful about opening up stuff. Go. So you open up in the jungle with the shooting, and I was going to draw Serpentine because there was a different scene up here, so I moved that. And I'm probably going to redo this panel here on the left. Although it's really funny is that panel looks slanted, but it's not. Like, it's an optical illusion because of the lines right there, and I think that's actually kind of fun. Kind of plays with the eyeballs. Yo, Scarlett, what's up? How you doing?
What? I figured I'd come hang out with you, give you some company for a little bit before my kiddo gets home and I gotta make some dinner.
I appreciate it. Let's see here.
Downtime. Very rare. But yeah.
Dude, for real. For real. We got Darkside, what's up, Marinus? Yo! And Carol, what's up, Carol? Oh, look at me, I'm Tank. I draw stuff.
She got you. Look at her.
Man! Now I'm sad.
I know. What are
I'm
you
just
gonna
gonna eat a pint of ice cream and cry. Salty ice cream. That's why I get the salted caramel ice cream, so I don't taste the tears.
Right.
And what's a comic book? What's a comic book without a... Oh yeah, and I have something really exciting. So, this was going to be a drawn-in tier when I was going to crowdfund it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, after I've got all the breakdowns done, I actually have somebody... I have somebody who's going to be starring as the Corpo.
Ooh. I was gonna say at first when I seen, I was like, "Oh wait, shit! You got like some mystery thing going on here." I love mysteries. That's fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, and it's gonna be great because I'm not gonna announce who it is until the book is out, and then I'm gonna show it off because it's although hint, this person usually pays to be drawn in to somebody's comic on their crowdfunder.
You guys
Yeah.
out there who know your comics and stuff.
Mhm,
Yes is in.
I think you'll flip out when you find out who it is. So
Like,
yeah.
I'm curious, and I don't even know like anybody. So I'm sitting here like, God damn it, you're gonna make me get into comics just out of the pure
See?
mystery.
Oh, and this person's an absolute delight. I'm so excited. They were willing to do like extra.
Nice.
Like yeah, and I was like, oh cool. Let me get you every single shot then.
Right.
And then we'll do like, because I was like, yeah, no, I could just go with like, you know, give me a profile shot, give me a forward-facing shot, give me a 3/4 forward-facing shot, right? And then give me a few different emotions, right? Just
Right.
one of the how do I feel today refrigerator magnet, right?
Yeah. Right.
But then it was like, you know what? No, we're gonna have fun with this. And so they will be credited in the book as starring as the Corpo.
Ooh.
And I'm not revealing the character's name because actually it's funny that you don't know that character's name until the last time you see them. And let me just say,
a lot of little things there, people. If you're listening and you're paying attention,
they're going to have a very bad, not good day.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, so Ben was wondering, if I'm working on something, I'm like, well, I've got this right now, and then after this, and then after that page, that's when see down in here, Zero blows up the whole jungle.
Oh hell yeah!
And you're gonna find out why that was a bad thing. Why that was
it never works out, but during the time, it seems like a good idea. And the explosion is always beautiful. It's the aftermath you have to worry about.
Right, and I've leveled up since I've drawn this explosion. So, in the new style that this book's gonna be in, because some of the people out there, they've seen that I can do like I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. They're not very good tricks, but they're novel. So the new style that this is going to be in, the explosion is going to look much, much cooler. The dirt and grime and the scratches
I like that
and stuff.
shot. That's actually really good.
You
can see it in her face. Yeah, that's good.
Right, try to get that emotion.
I like his too. It's like the one underneath it. It's just kind of like
yeah, and that's Scalpel 12. If I shaved them bald, they're identical. Mm-hmm. Right, because this is the prototype up here, and this is number 12 in the early release, and yeah, so Zero is just like I ate the cat. I am the mouse, and I ate the cat.
Right, it's just I don't know if it's the contrast in like kind of their expression that's so good with the two one above and below it like that. I don't know, there's something to it there though. It catches the eye.
Thank you, that's what I was going for. This is kind of like I don't think that's as good as you think it is. And look at her expression as she's jogging up. Like almost a smug sense of satisfaction of, yep, stupid prototype. You're not as good as me. And you don't ooh, somebody's in trouble. Daddy gonna be mad. He gonna be so mad.
Put them eyes at him. Looking. I see. I'm looking.
I see him. You are in such deep shit. And then hubris be thy failing. And that's when you turn the page and ta-da! Action lines, anime action lines.
Like what's up with this dude? Honestly, when I was looking at it a minute ago, I don't know why. Maybe I'm playing too much Bioshock, But I totally was like, is that a machine gun? Because it gave me like,
Yeah.
the Big Daddy's weapon kind of vibe when you get the rivet gun.
Yeah, no, it's full of Bert. Soviet go Borg in Soviet Russia, Borg goes Bert. Yeah, so forcing them apart. I was like, yeah, because there's two initial reactions. 12 tries to get the flank. No.
Oh, that don't look good down there. Oh shit.
She's unloading, and of course we see that this is utterly futile.
Yeah. Ow.
And really, ow.
Ooh, big ow.
And I kind of had I had these, like, if you notice, right? Like, so this, like his apron is gonna drape down over this to draw the eye there, right?
Okay, yeah. That'd be really cool because then it pops. I like how when you do that, even in comics and stuff, how the certain elements will pop over a frame a little bit. Yeah, that is really cool. Gives you a little more dimension on the page, or at least
right.
in my eyes.
And then, of course, you've got this guy. He's just over everything, right? He's popping into this panel. He's popping into this panel. So he's all roads. He's Rome, right?
Right.
And then you have this at the top of the page, which, of course, is almost the same as this scene, just a little further on. And then you have this quick series of events that it's a little chaotic. And it's supposed to be. That's how fast this went down, right?
It's still good, though, right? Because that top right frame and bottom left one that you're talking about, that gives you the perspective, right, of what the actual scene is. But but it's up there, so you kind of get that in the story, but you're getting to see the big flash of him, right? Like, he's in your face. It's a serious, like, battle right now between the three. They're getting their ass kicked, but, they're doing their thing.
Yeah, no, dude, and there's some great stuff going on out here. I'm just looking.
I'm sorry, if we ignore you guys in the chat, I apologize. We're pieces of shit.
It's my son. How you feeling today? He was resting in today. His little sister's not feeling good, so I hope you're feeling okay, son. He was up late. He is the consummate big brother. He has been the big brother of big brothers since he was like 7, like for real. That's
good though. I'd be such a proud daddy.
He's gonna be such a good dad when he's grown up. I tell you what, man, he's going to be a catch.
You got this whole huge litter of just awesome kids, man.
I do, man. I lucked out. And then we turn the page, and I got some blue lines going on over here. And of course, I've got all my notes. I think, most of the notes are right. So I put in like the sound effects, right? Because there's like going to be this background hum throughout this whole section right there until she pulls out her kukri. Because on the previous page, if I turn on, is this my notes layer? Right. So, I threw in some notes real quick. We're going to have the hum coming in, right? I just, for my onomatopoeias, I just wrote in some quick. This is not
crunch,
the actual crunch,
definitely.
Stomp. Right, that's not going to be the sound effect, but that's my note of like,
kind of pretty much where you're at with it,
Right, I do like getting creative with onomatopoeias, so. And then we've got the hum coming in, and that hum's going to start probably right here about this corner on the panel and just be right along the edge.
And then continue into like that
until
next frame. Okay.
We get to this panel right here where, she's going to be stabbing it, and Zero is going to be stabbing it in the neck with the kukri, grabbing the visor, kind of wrenching it back. And, she's going to use that as a break point. And lift with your legs, not with your back.
Right.
And he's going to be like, I surrender. And, I just kind of, because this is about, the size of the word bubble, about what it's going to be with the script that's in there. But I just, no spoilers, right?
Right.
save something for the show. And she's just gonna be like saying right back to him in Russian, like essentially no mercy.
Yeah.
And then I love the Eureka. That's just she tosses the head off. Brag, gloat, me.
Right. Yeah, she got it.
Right, and then as the thing lands and collapses with great vengeance and furious collapsity, she rips out the kukri, flips off the blood and oil and hydraulic fluid. Because that was a cyborg. That was a person. That person's head got ripped off. Doesn't matter if they were in a machine body. They did.
Right. They were still enough human, enough living,
right.
Anyways.
And then 12 gets. They're gonna be having a conversation as this vehicle right here, which was all the way back on this page here in the background. Right. That was our vehicle. It's going to be landing. There's going to be radio communication and stuff right here.
Okay.
So that's going to communicate that stuff. What's up, Tim? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
And then that's as far as I'm showing on this, because after that, because this is not going to be like super long. So
I'd say spoil the whole damn thing.
all right, hey, And that's why I'm working on this right here. So we've got 0 and we've got 12 right there. And I was thinking of, gosh, I'm actually going to be, I'm really thinking about what I'm going to put there, right? And I think I'm going to put
blood,
the Soviet knockoff of the Scalpel Cyber Droid.
Remember the 3 Bs. Blood, bullets, and boobs.
Right, well, yeah. Hey, don't worry, you get the boobs. I mean, there's a point where Zero is naked and slathered in mud, going all sorts of Dutch on them fools, on a Predator. Alright?
What about blood and bullets?
Well, we had some blood and bullets, sorta.
We've got plenty of that. Where is the, here we go. Each one of these magazines holds 30 rounds of a high-density ferro
long clip or short
magnetic.
Yeah, we had a whole explosion. It was like a big kaboom.
An earth-shattering kaboom.
That's right. It was
An earth-shattering kaboom.
Was that a long clip or short clip?
Gumdrops. Sorry, what?
Well, in the Thunderbolt, U.S. agent, he had a gun, but he had like an extra long clip to hold extra ammo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was cool, pretty cool. When he discarded the clip, he just kind of threw it out and kind of put another one in.
Yeah. That's what you do. I mean, 12's got the modular long barrel assault bullpup or combat bullpup rifle. That is in use by the U.S. military at this time. It's going to have a big old optics array on it because, think about that. That's a long barrel rifle right there. Probably even falls under the category of light machine gun.
So you wouldn't rob Liefeld and just make up a gun that doesn't exist?
Yeah, but this gun is plausible.
Yeah.
Not knocking Rob. I love his energy guns. They're so over the top.
Yeah.
And they're so cool, but they are total bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
because I actually have late stage plans. Like, we've already got designs. We've already got the materials and the whatnot that we're going to be modeling Scalpel Zero's Gauss pistols. Right?
Right.
And I've got a cosplayer over in the UK
nice.
Who is 5'10", shapely, athletic. She's a mixed martial artist practitioner.
Oh, that's
plus. Right? She went and saw herself in a comic book. character is what happened. In a good way. She's like, hell yeah, that's what I want to be when I grow up.
Uh-oh.
She's an adult. But you know how like the little kid in us is like, we're 40 years old and we say, yo, great cloudy day, what's up? Today is National Limerick Day. There was once
Really?
Oh no. Hold on.
All those people who come from Regina.
Okay. Today is National Limerick Day, and I will do this. All right, you ready? You ready, folks? There once was a hermit named David who kept a whore in his cave. He said, I admit, I'm a bit of a shit, but I just look at the money I save. Aye. Your mother smells worse than a Wookiee. Here comes another verse, worse than the other verse, so waltz me around by my willy. There was this dental hygienist from Crete, whose job made her complete, with her long pussy hair that she combed with great care, so her lovers could floss while they eat. Aye. Your mother's so fat the elephants throw peanuts.
Ridiculous. So you're trying to be quiet, and I fucking laugh through it.
Sorry, it's National Limerick Day. We got to sing the limerick song.
I was gonna say it kind of sounds like they came up with that one while insulting somebody's mother.
Yeah, no, it's.
Yep, Carol's all about it. She's put them up.
Here comes another verse worse than the other verse, so waltz me around by my willy. There was a young sailor from Brighton who said to his girl, you're a titan. She replied, bless my soul, you're in the wrong hole, but there's plenty of room in the right one. Aye. I sold off your sister for a Snickers.
Oh my god.
Sounds like a fair price.
Yeah, no, I haven't played that game in a long time. That was just something that we played back in the day where we'd bring our limericks and then we had that interlude saying, and they just got so bad. Like I gotta stop it there because it is no we've already gone past. We've already gone past. But they go past. They go past like straight
if there was a threshold, you
into
already passed it. I don't know where you're at this point. You just
Now I heard one. If you watched YouTube, there's like the videos of all. Obviously, it was in Britain, and they were doing limericks. Right. And one was, there was once a woman that wanted a type of coal extraction, so mine shaft she got. Something like that. Mine shaft. Or something like that.
That's a good one. All right, I'm going to take a quick break right now. I'm going to go check in on things. So everybody, I'm going to leave you guys. You guys want to hang out here up on the front, or you guys want to take a break too?
No, I'm good.
Digital bullpen. Okay.
Yeah, it don't matter to me. I've probably got at least another 20 minutes before I have to dip.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to go take some more allergy medicine. Because,
Yeah, no, it's bad, man. Everybody in my house is sneezing. It's horrible. There's nothing but pollen everywhere.
We got rid of a couch, right? And you think that if you put something over the couch, that it's gonna remain like not so much dust. But yeah, no. It's I tore a muscle in my back last year. That's what happened. I ended up in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
I tore a muscle like right in the middle of my back, in between the shoulder blades, the scapula.
And that sound good.
Yeah,
Sounds
no,
like
I couldn't breathe. Like my body would not breathe in, and I ended up like having to like focus.
Right.
right on just breathe.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, back muscles. They're overrated. They're overrated. Yeah, no, I just got to. We threw out a couch yesterday. It's the dog's favorite place to lay down on. You know, and you think that you throw a cloth over something, that you vacuum it. You know, you think you would get all that stuff, but as it's getting moved, you know, this thing was toast anyways. But you know, it got caught on something. It tears that cheap foam on the inside, split open, and just dust, pet dander. And I'm allergic to dogs. I love dogs.
So much dog hair, it made another dog.
Right.
Yeah, no, for real though, dude. It made a dust doggo. So I shall return briefly. I'm gonna go check in on Dadland and do my due diligence. So I'm gonna pop up the real fast.
No worries. They gotta go.
Yep. Dad's for our pleasure.
For your pleasure. I guess I mean I like to dance it. It's nice. I like the bunny ears.
No judgments.
You like the tail?
I guess so.
Is it the shoes? I mean, I don't know. What's your favorite part? Just kidding.
Where's the feature where you can throw money at her?
I don't know. I'm sure
it doesn't quite have the. It doesn't quite have the strip club feel.
Well, you know,
you should feel ashamed while you're looking at it.
Well, there's no light pole for her to.
Right. And there's no, you know, the floors are sticky for some reason.
That too.
All kinds of gross.
All right, my youngin's just getting home from school, so let her know to go be settled till it's time for dinner.
I see.
Oh, sorry. So you probably hear a door slam. You know, teenage girls. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
You pick your battles.
I do not know since I don't have kids of my own.
Yeah, Tank knows. He understands. Well, he probably does even better than me. He's got them children doing all kinds of sorts of good things. She's got a little mouth. Mine's smart, but she's a little too smart for her own good sometimes. Where, you know, she'll catch you in something and be like, I'm like, you know what? Just go to your room. I don't care anymore. Like, technically you're right, but I didn't ask for your opinion.
Well, if I have kids with someone someday, I am subject to the mother's curse. I was a little shit growing up, so I have it coming.
You're right. So just get ready.
Any prodigy I have will probably be just as worse as I was when I was a kid.
Oh, the base art says my girls are 3 years and the other is 6 months. Aw. Mine was so sweet when she was younger. She's still real sweet, but you know, there's something about there's just a little extra mouth to us females as we get older. I don't know where it comes from. Just all of a sudden, like I watched it in real time and I was like, that's what happened?
That's what happened to me.
I know. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, Dad. This is going on. I'm so sorry.
You then realized you had to make a few phone calls. The people you haven't talked to in a long time.
Oh god, they're both redheads with blue eyes. Yeah, get ready. And see, my baby, she's got red in her hair, but she takes after her daddy a little bit more, so her hair's a little darker. It's more like a brownish color, like a dark brown, but in the sun it will shine with a little bit of red in there. So yeah, you gotta care for the redheads though. They had an extra fiery punch. I know, I was one of them, and I got the bluish green eyes, so we were, you know, my mom and daddy had their hands full.
I was blonde with blue eyes. I used to be really blonde. But then the older I got, the darker it got. So. Right. So if it had been really sunny and like really warm, my hair would get really blonde, and then when it's overcast, it would darken. So, but I was the why kid. You know, they tell you to do something, you go why.
Yeah.
Drove them nuts.
But yeah, I question everything, and then they're like, "Why?" Well, because I want to know. I'm curious.
And then they said because I said so.
I'm like,
Yeah.
well, okay, well, that's nice. That's why I'm like when my daughter argues with me, it's like it's me arguing with myself, so it frustrates me. I'm like, yep, technically you're right. All right, well, I guess you can.
All I know is I have it coming.
They're fun though. Mine's doing real good. She's ready for the year to be over, ready for summer vacay.
I see.
And I try to take a little sort of vacation and go upstate Alabama and look at some stuff. Go to like Huntsville to the Space Center, and they got some like caves up north that you can kind of go through and stuff.
I know that Tank won't, but have you seen some of the recent episodes of Lord Raptor Jesus' show?
I haven't particularly I mean I know of the streams. I've watched them before, but I don't. Usually it's so late by the time he streams that I don't usually get to them, and then like I'm so busy during the day. Like there's so many people I try to get to.
I mean, I've literally missed one and woke up and so I had to like spend the morning working and at my job and listening to the stream at the same time because I get there at 5 before it opens. So, yeah. Funny show. Just some.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not into a lot of the conversations at hand on his stream because I don't really know the players. So it's like I can watch for a little bit, but I'm not as invested, I guess, because like I said, I'm not into the drama because I don't really. I'm here, but I'm just not like I like art, but I'm not into the comics per se. But I do like to see art. So seeing people draw was really fun for me.
Well, I can't draw, so yeah. I do like to show off the pages that my artist finishes.
Yeah.
I should be getting an update today, I think.
Nice. I'm gonna have to mute for just a minute. Actually, my kid needs me for something, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute. I'll still be here. I might be able to come back. We'll see. You know, always something. Never ends. Tank understands. Parent land never ends. But yeah, I'll be right back.
This is the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends.
Oh, he's back.
Yep, just in time. Apparently. Uh-oh. I had an ant the size of Volkswagen walk across. Dude, those aren't cool, man. Those aren't cool.
Was it a red ant? Because I hear you once you get bitten by those things, it's a pain in the ass.
It all depends, you know, where you're at. Because, like, bullet ants, the most painful ant there is a black ant. I've never been stung by one of those, and I hope to never have the opportunity. You will never catch me up in the treetops of Belize, I'll tell you that. It's just not happening.
Well, I mean, those Japanese, there's an island off the coast of Japan that has those wasps, and they can track you for miles. And then they release a scent that attracts other wasps to chase you. Yeah, apparently they can win above water.
Yeah, the Japanese murder hornets are just absolutely not fun. So I'm thinking I will put in right here. All right, we'll just go ahead and just
in about 3 or 4 days, I'm gonna go. Actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I'm gonna be at Gem State Comic Con, handing out free promotional items and trying to get people to buy my book, all 4 of my books, on Amazon.
Oh, dude, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So I'm talking about buttons. I got a bunch of buttons and stickers in these pouches that have Melvin's 0 through 3 special editions on Amazon. I had those
Okay.
made on Sticker Mule, and then I had a bunch of buttons made. And I have at least, was it somebody made 200 flyers for me on their printer, which are basically poster size, like mini poster size.
Uh-huh.
Because Sticker Mule couldn't make the flyers because they weren't up to their specs. So I just had somebody else make it for me.
So I'm going to make a new layer here called Copy Layout, all right? And so what I'm going to do is we are going to go ahead and just type in some rough copy. Yeah, impact totally works. It doesn't matter what font we use. Coming soon to, and then go ahead and write here EDGEPUNK Magazine. All right, doesn't matter because we're just gonna kind of sling it up here. We're gonna grab this whole thing, right? You know, I should have made this all caps, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna turn on the caps lock and say coming soon to Edge. Oops. See, there I go, pressing the shift button. EDGEPUNK Magazine. Alright, we're gonna control A, we're gonna control C. No, control E, is that the one? No. Fine. I'm just gonna go over here and do it automatically. Alright. Center line. Alright, we're gonna shrink this down. Make this so we're at 100. Let's see here. And then we're gonna grab this whole thing. We're gonna shrink it down just a little bit. Alright. If I put that one down, say down here at the bottom. Alright, coming soon to EDGEPUNK Magazine. Right, and then we put, we'll go ahead and we'll write X, and then we're going to write Predator, and we're going to grab that. We're going to shrink it down, shrink it, shrink it, shrink it, shrink it, shrink it, shrink it, because it's just a placeholder, right? The actual logo is about that aspect, kind of ratio deal. So we're going to slap that up, center line. And then I can take this background layer here, so we're going to go ahead and just we're going to merge these layers with each other. Grab that, throw that into the undersketch. And then we're going to go ahead and grab that slow boy there in the background. T. So I see that I can bring them up just a little bit, which is good. I didn't want to shrink them too much. I kind of want them to be a little big because here in the middle we want to put a hammer and sickle. All right. For the communism, we're going to put the hammer and sickle in the star. So, drawing a quick star real quick. Kind of noodle it in. I know it's crapola.
Maybe some Ivan Drago. I must very cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, in this universe, the Soviets do exist. It is a different Soviet Union. It was Trotsky's Soviet Union, so it is more international, less isolationist. And with a strong international trade between communist countries, it allowed them to persist longer than it did in our world.
So I guess it would be I did break you.
Yeah, and the Soviet Union, or Comint, Communism International, is well known for producing goods that are, even though they are technologically competitive with the West, their big market share is inexpensive machinery, practical machinery that is easy to repair. Operating under the principle of if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? So we're gonna just kind of scribble in some hair and stuff like that right here. I've often thought of just doing like a whole comic, just scribbled like just good solid, ultra fine line pencil, like go back and forth with like the eraser and stuff, and just really kind of do like something. And I might do that for, and I've considered doing that for one of the stories, just because it's more of a horror story, and that style might just fit the storytelling a little better. She's got bangs, and then we're going to go ahead and put the slow void optics like that. They're actually going to be a little bigger, a little scary, and we're just going to shade all of that in. All right. Shade all that in. Of course, this is like super duper rough, but it helps me capture, like, I don't know, kind of sketching in stuff like this, real rough, even though I'm not going to use a lot of it, does help me capture the emotion of the scene, right? So I think I'm going to go ahead and straighten that out just a little bit. Alright, just straighten that out, get rid of some of this extra stuff out here on the edges. Yeah. We do want that to kind of, and they have that high collar coming up right there with the Soviet symbol in the center. I think, and let me go ahead and grab both of these things here. We're going to grab our tool. We're just going to select all of it. We're going to change the color to that. And then we're going to go down here. We're going to select all of that and change the color to that. So that way we've got like just good solid blue line. And then we're going to say okay. And grab something else. Get this squared in here. There we go, so I can actually see what it's looking like. I'm going to go and hide that layer. I almost feel I almost feel like I can go ahead and I can actually get away with a little bit. I almost feel like I can get away with something a little crazy there. So I'm gonna say, yeah, fun. Hurry up and process. I know I've got so much stuff. I'm almost done with the color separations for the Steins for James Lee. So
I might jump back on a little bit later. Just think my laptop's running out of juice here.
I dig it. I dig it. All right. So
back, but I'm probably gonna have to dip too. Unfortunately, Mom Land's calling me, and it's not gonna let me go. So it's probably a little faster than I thought.
It's like Rick and Morty, only the portals are compulsory.
Like normally, kiddo comes
understand.
home and doesn't want to have anything to do with me, ready to go, do her own thing and get settled, but not today. Of course, because I'm decided to do something other than sit here for a minute. So that's life. But man, it's looking good though. I see where you're going with this. I like it.
Right, just kind of noodling it out. I like the underpinning symbolism of them facing inward and the guns kind of pointed at the eyes inadvertently, but this kind of ominous background framing
Right
there. So yeah, but thank you, Scarlett. Thank you, Tim, for joining. It's always great. Hey, have a great one.
Hey, man. We'll see you.
Hey, you have a great one. And what are you guys' favorite comics? Oh, I guess that happened while I was out. No, that just happened recently. Yeah. Favorite comic like right now? Ooh. I have it actually. I'm reading this one. I'm gonna give this one a review. This one, Sword and Chivalry from DLA. The installation.com. You can find it, dude. Really, really good. Ooh, oh, that's a good one. Hey, you have a great one, ma'am. Ooh, yeah, this one's decent. Like, it's real decent. The storytelling's good. Like, this book, like, to be ready for prime time, I would say, like, just needs an art director. Maybe somebody do, like, the breakdowns. Kind of like what Dan Jurgens did for Rob Liefeld with Hawk and Dove. Like that. It's a book. And you go to the installation, 100 copies. He's given out 100 copies of this book for free. So just hit him up. Hit him up. That's right. Right there. Theinstallation.com. The-installation.com. Go get your free book. No, dude, I'm an asshole. I try to warn people, I am an asshole. I'm the last person you want to be reviewing your book, because then I'm gonna put on my submissions editor and my editor-in-chief hats, and I'm gonna give you a good, fair review. The story is so good. The art communicates as well. It's a little bold in some places, but I like it when artists reach outside of their comfort zone, when they try to pull off something really cool. This has so much heart. Really, really good. I'm going to be reading Cobalt soon, too. I'm going to give this a good review. I'm actually going to start doing... Oh, I get that, Low, but you still have to have a favorite somewhere. Oh, yeah. Favorite. I mean, gosh. My favorite comic of all time would probably be... Alien Labyrinth. Or Gypsy. Love Gypsy, dude. That dude is like... Dude, he is apex man meat with his big chin and his giant truck, and his doing the right thing, even though all he really wants to do is just drive a truck. A little bit of a cyberpunk flair, a little dark future kind of flavoring to it. Gypsy, absolutely love that comic book. Another one of my favorites would be Area 88, old manga from back in the day. I haven't read it since I was a kid, but still it stays with me to this very day. Great series, Blood Sword Dynasty from Tony Wong. Like, dude, that was so cool. Like, kung fu gangs going at it with announcing their special move after they've done the special move, and sometimes before they do the special move, depending on how cocky they are. Kung fu powers and all sorts of stuff, and that one was really good. Love Judge Dredd. Like, that is a dirty pleasure. Like, that one, it's simple, it's dark, it's gritty, it's brutal. Loved the Appleseed comic. Really, really good. Which is, I actually liked the 3D animated movies. I thought they were very bold. They don't hold up so well as 2D, classic 2D animation. Because there's no stretch, there's no squeeze, right? Unless you're Pixar. That's why Pixar holds up. They stretch and squeeze. Yeah. So those are some good ones. Most anything from Tony Wong is good. Like he even did a superhero comic with like kung fu superheroes, and that was like Iron Tiger and Flying Dragon or something like that. I didn't get into it too much because at the time I was reading Mouse Guard. Great series. Like any Mouse Guard book, you can pick it up anywhere. Even the new one looks totally great. Yeah, Appleseed is really, really good. The original animated movie is so far removed, but the 3D animated stuff is close enough. You know, it's close enough. Plus the second one, that's directed by what was his name? The gun, Two Guns guy. Anyway, yes, go follow Ben over on X, dude. Based art department. Definitely go do that. Mouse Guard is another one. I thought, dude, it's so good. It's a great story. That one is honestly like the best fantasy story I've read in a really, really long time. And I'm not a huge fantasy guy. I loved. I like when I was a kid. I read like Red Sonja. I like Sword and Sorcery. Red Sonja, and I read Conan comics, and I read the Conan novels, and I also love the book by Frank Frazetta and the other guy, Prisoner of the Horned Helm. That's the Death Dealer guy. That stuff's really, really good. And whatnot, dude. I ordered, and unfortunately when I moved, like, because I was going to unbox it, I was going to do all this cool stuff, and show off all the neat stuff like I did with the Cobalt stuff that I got from Tail End Studios, which I got some good stuff. That one I'm really, really looking forward to, like, getting into. But as far as like comics do, like my favorite comics runs, like I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. At one time I was missing just a handful of issues, but I had almost every single issue from 1972 to 1994. When I stopped collecting Fantastic Four, when they started getting into the edgelord stuff, I really just kind of lost interest, and whatnot, like that. Yeah, Mouse Guard is amazing. You thought just when you thought you were free, you were drawn back into the abyss. The abyss. Yeah, no, but Sword and Chivalry, man. Like, go hit this up. Don't sleep on this. This right here. Like, I talked to Dale. And Dale's a great artist, man. Like, he's a storyteller. He's a visual storyteller. And that's something that, there's a lot of great pinup artists out there. But I go and I see their pages, and it's like, it's disconnected pinups. I'm going to see who, we got a boop. Yo, Frederick, what's up, my man? What you got going on there, dude? Holy moly, look at that.
Yeah, almost done with this one. Just needs a little bit of brick texture on the bricks there, which is going to be a fun time. And it's
let me I'm gonna turn your mic up. There you go.
I could also bring it up on my end as well.
Oh, you're good. I don't mind running this
cool.
type of stuff. Dude, that looks great. Speaking of visual storytelling, see that will, like I was just getting into. There are these great artists out there that they're pinup artists, they're poster artists, and you go pick up their book, and it's like it's a bunch of disconnected pinups.
Oh yeah.
Like Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld can make a promo piece that I'll buy. I don't care. I'll buy it. Except for that one Captain America that he did. That is like.
I actually like that Captain America. I think the head's off a little bit, but I don't think it's that huge of a thing. He got a lot of hate for that.
Speaking of chest.
Are you just as if I was Rob Liefeld, Captain America?
I love Rob. I love Rob.
Me too.
I've never
Me too.
I've never had a bad deal with him at all. I've always gotten exactly what I thought I was getting into. You know,
Dude, his X-Force #1 is still one of my favorite comics.
Dude,
I don't
real.
like every one of his comics. I gotta, be honest. Like most of Rob's work, I'm not really into. But some of the greatest work he's done is some of the greatest work out there as well. Like he's so good at being dynamic, just throwing everything at you. You feel that the pages are just coming out. And you feel like you're watching a 3D movie. It's
right. And I feel like there are some amazing artists out there, and this is something that I'm like right now. I'm swamped on sequentials. Right. I'm booked. I'm booked for at least the next year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I've got like King League stuff. I've got an unannounced project with Pixel Trader that is still in development.
Ooh.
Right. I've got another project with another amazing creator. A little controversial this creator is, but remember, it's not about the drama, except for the drama between the pages with me, man. Like, as long as I can work with somebody, I'll work with my worst enemy.
Listen, drama's kind of par for the course on the internet.
It is, and I just want to bring a good product to people who want good products.
Yep,
right?
I respect that a lot, 100%.
Rob's art is fun to look, but Edwin Buzz Acevedo says Rob's art is fun to look at. Something and that is vastly missing from current comics. Yeah, no,
Yep.
It's absolutely fantastic, and he kind of leads me into something that once I get clear of being overwhelmed with sequentials, I'm thinking of getting into the market of if people think that my sequential storytelling is worth it, and if it's a viable thing, doing breakdowns, drawing in form and figure, drawing in the base geometry for backgrounds, and then because that doesn't take very long because you're not putting it in any detail. Like composition is going to be most of the thing. I felt like Rob's best work was when he had a breakdown artist.
Oh, someone breaking down before him. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what he did with Hawk and Dove, and it's still, even though the rendering is not nearly as good as what Rob does, the form, function, and sequentials were really good. But I think that Rob, with directing a breakdown artist just to do form for him that he could draw over, teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yo, Peter, what's up, dude?
Hey, Peter, aka Pat. Speaking of Rob Liefeld, he does a lot of great
Right?
videos on the topic.
He does, dude. Hold on, you don't have a wrench? What? Hold on, I'm gonna fix that.
Throw him a wrench.
Yeah, no, this guy's got great content on his channel. So
Yeah, I don't miss it. Like all of his videos have been entertaining. Like I don't miss any of them.
Yeah, I don't always agree with him 100%, but man, does he not make a good point. So, yeah, no, definitely, yeah, Peter, make sure you drop links and stuff. He's got good content there. He's got good content. That's why I give out wrenches here.
He's got good taste. He's going back into the 90s. I think all of us here are really into the 90s art. There's something special about that era. And, it's not just a love fest. He's critical and he points out the good points as well. It's very, I think, balanced look at it.
But I'm going to be doing some experiments here in the not too distant future with a couple of artists. And I haven't announced it yet. I haven't hit anybody up yet. I've got a list of artists that I think have really good rendering, but some of the basics are out, like form, composition, and stuff like that. And because it's not a dig, like a lot of people, artists are sensitive souls, dude. They really are. They are.
I take that personally.
Souls.
There, Tank.
Right, and they do, and it's like no. I want to multiply your efforts, right? So if I and breakdowns depending on the artist cost between $30 and $60 a page, and can bring so much more. And I told Dale, I was like, dude, if I wasn't so overwhelmed, what's up, Metal? If I wasn't so overwhelmed right now, I would make this book a priority and do breakdowns for this. I'm not. You can't see what I'm holding up here because I got the tiny camera. But yeah, no, I would do breakdowns.
Yeah, I heard you talk
for this book right here. And go. All right, Dale. Now draw it again. Right, and
Back
because I think at that point, that's like all I did was just a tiny nudge in a direction, and he did all the heavy lifting, and I just gave him a platform in which he could lift all that weight, right? Like Archimedes said, you give me a stick long enough and somewhere to stand, and I will move the world, right?
Oh yeah.
Because his rendering's good. His rendering's really good. It needs a little bit of a move into that, and so, and I'm thoroughly aware. I occasionally I can get inks looking good, but I am not an inker by any means. I'm more of a penciler, composition guy, right? And it's probably
I'm starting to enjoy inking. Like I'm starting to get where I'm happy with most of the lines I'm putting down. Not all the time, obviously. I'm starting to get comfortable. I had bad experiences with other people inking in the past that kind of made it worse.
Right.
So I just had to, hunker down and, develop my own inking style.
And hold on real quick. I gotta address this. No, you don't. Look at this. This came out great. See, he colored this. Ben did. Mr. Based Art Department. He colored this. I think it came out great. I think that picture pops. It communicates. That's the whole point, right? Sorry.
Yeah. No, and artists have like two modes. Like, this is the greatest thing ever, or I totally suck. It's hard to get that nuanced self-reflection of your capacity and stuff. And I totally understand it. I'm that way as well.
Yeah.
But you got to stay humble. You got to, keep the idea that you can always improve. I think it's the best attitude.
Right, like this one, like this one right here that I got. The form, the perspective, the composition. It's all great. I hate it, but I'm selling it. We're gonna be starting an auction here in a little bit, and then and you gotta be able to recognize it. Now here's a big thing. I'm an asshole. Gushes all over my. Hey man. Pardon me. No, I'm like congested, like all the way up to my ear. Like this ear is almost deaf. I mean, it was already not in good condition.
Yeah, you're battling the allergies today.
Yeah, we did some deep cleaning today. Is the citywide large item pickup. So stuff that has been in storage all winter because I am not paying $20 an item to have it disposed of. But that's how much they charge here. Yeah, kind of a rip. So once a year we can do it for free, or no, twice a year they do it for free. And so we had a bunch of stuff that we're getting rid of that's been sitting in storage all winter, getting disgusting because it's been in the storage. And so I'm a little.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, a little too much. I think this is gonna work out okay. This Apex Predator thing. I'm gonna do something here. We're gonna go ahead and add one more layer. We're gonna call this one a reference layer, or a filtered layer, I should say, because everything underneath it is. Well, I don't know.
One of the things I thought you were going to talk about, Liefeld, earlier in relation to breakdowns, is that he used to draw his thumbnails really small and blow them up on the photocopier back in the day, right?
Yeah, and that's a classic trick right there. Like, me, I have a love affair with tiny pens, and tiny pencils. Like when I get art supplies, after I got this medical bill sorted out, well, I mean, probably before I get the medical bill sorted out, because the art supplies will help me pay the medical bill, I have to get a Koh-i-Noor Rapidograph mechanical, the 0.3 millimeter mechanical pencil. It's my favorite thing to draw with. Either that or...
Oh, really? That's pretty good, yeah.
Or the 2 millimeter drafting pencil. I love those, you know.
Oh, dude, speaking of that, I got in the mail yesterday those red... those red ones after seeing you like do digital reds. I was getting jelly and I was like, oh, I want my art pencils to look good as well.
Yes, Stadler's really good too. I get those. That's my number one brand I go to. Them and Faber-Castell.
Yeah, German and English.
Yeah, I usually go for my colored Faber-Castell, like non-photo blue and the photocopy red. I go through the UK. I want it made in the UK.
Really?
There's just something they do over there. For the hard leads, it doesn't matter, UK or made in Germany are both fine. But for the soft leads, I go with the German. There's something about them. There's just some slight difference in the manufacturing process where those are the best ones.
Fascinating.
And with Stadler, I go made in the USA all the way. Their manufacturing elsewhere is not good in comparison to what they have here in the US. So, I get funky like that though. I mean, like, I only go to Japan, UK, France, Germany, and the US for my art supplies.
What do you buy in France?
Watercolors and oils.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're acrylics. Dude, France makes good paint and colored pencils. They make really good colored pencils. Like, them in the UK got that shit on lock. They make great colored pencils, especially when it comes to watercolor pencils. Those are my favorite. But France and the UK, both, they just do fantastic for colors. Italy, of course, you know, that's I either get my Koh-i-Noor stuff made in Italy or Japan. Those are the two manufacturing plants where those stuff comes out the best. I'm a big Rapidograph guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I fought with those things when I was younger. I never went back to them. I'm using what everybody else uses, the Copic pens and all
right.
That.
I have since switched to Copic because it's cheap, it's easier to maintain.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the reliability of line, but gosh, anybody who's ever owned a Rapidograph pen will tell you that you have to really care for them.
Yeah.
You have to store them empty. When you're getting ready to work, you do a fresh cleaning and you clean them all the time. Because those nibs, they're like $20 these days now. Outrageous. But dude, you do not get a more precise line. There's no competition anyway. But I go with the Copics. I bought the aluminum barrels so that way I can just swap out the guts for super cheap.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I get the aluminum barrels, and then I just swap it out with the stuff that's labeled on the outside. And it's super cheap. It costs about the same as a Micron and lasts about 50% longer. So, and I have more consistency in line. Microns, I often find that the nib is toast before I've run out of ink, and I just give them to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, like right now, where I am a little desperate, it does get to the point of where it's like, okay, I'm using it until I start noticing that it's not laying down consistent ink, and I'm like, it's starting to run low, it's gonna die soon, and then I hand it off to the kids. I'm like, all right, here you go. It's not gonna last long, so when you're done with it, throw it away.
I'm always keeping like all my used up markers, because once in a while I'm going to want to do like an effect that you can only get with usually you take a brush and a half dry brush and you use that, But I like the used up marker effects on some things now.
We bought a pack of sponges, and I jacked one, and I'm going to take a pair of scissors to this sucker later today, and I'm going to turn it into all sorts of tools, because it's got a nice texture to it.
Oh yeah, those sea sponges, man. They can give you some funky textures.
Right. Oh, sea sponges are the best, but this is just one of those plastic, one of those cheapo plastic sponges that, you know, you use them for a week and then you toss them out, because sponges are gross. Sponges are gross. Yeah, I think this composition is going to work for the ad piece. I think this composition is going to work for the ad piece. I'm still noodling on it.
This is going to be a cover for, or an ad for EDGEPUNK?
Yeah, this is going to be an ad for the story coming out in EDGEPUNK.
Yeah.
Because it's not coming out until August. So, I want to get this done as I get closer to getting finished with the actual project and whatnot. And I'm working with Tacome LLC. What's up, K-pop? How you doing? Tacome is my visual editor for the Neon Revenant. So I've pulled him in on this project as well, and he's the publisher for EDGEPUNK Magazine. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I want to make sure that I'm bringing like the best, bringing my best foot forward on this.
Yeah, because having someone else kind of push you further than, because, you know, as artists, I can only speak for myself, but sometimes I might take the lazy route and then regret it, and, you know, having someone else say, you know, that one's not quite up to your usual. Try to redo that one and push it further, you know.
Especially with the new inking style on this, I can't wait to reveal that, because that's been something that we've been kind of developing, a specific look, right?
That's
specific
cool.
feel. And I try to change it up. I like to have lots of different rendering styles. Like if you take, you know, there's a wild difference between, like, say, this Lady Death and the Maniac, right? There's a huge difference in those inking styles, and in
totally.
Here, I gotta,
commissions are the best for that, or having multiple projects so you can switch from one to the other.
Right.
Commissions, like sometimes you can, I'll try this, I'll try a different technique, or use a different tool.
Right, and those are both physical pieces right there. But then you have this digital piece, the Achilles that I did.
Oh, I saw you working on that one. That one's dope.
Yeah, I like this one. Came out fun, and I used some graphic design cheats while making this picture, because, you know, you're working digital, dude. Cheat. You're not cheating. You're not trying. And there is no cheating in commercial art. There are only results. So, like, that's a different style. And then take a look at. Oh, let's see here. Oh, like this fembat that I did, and that's a different style. That one's a little more in like 90s. Kind of went a little 90s on that one.
The Dracula up there, encompassing
right.
The whole
I couldn't
darkness.
help it. I had fun. That one's got like a little more classic.
Okay, so you got the. I'm seeing it now. The cape is turning into lightning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I started doodling, and I was like, nope, I got to leave it alone. I was like, no, stop. I think this is this it? Let's see here. I think this is the finished one.
Has Apex seen it yet, or is it under wraps?
Oh yeah. He was Yeah, I've sent them off. I've sent that off to him, and along with the one where she's doing the kind of like the dancing pose, where she looks like she's holding the moon. I'll bring that one up in a second. But yeah, this is the Arachnus that I did, and I just went for like heavy '90s chrome,
Oh yeah.
And then just more feathered block shading, right? So I was going for something a little different right here. And I leaned heavy into that 90s chrome. Like, it's got a reflect map. And I've used the same reflect map for all of the metal. Not like, let's see here. Where is... I totally forgot that we did that on the studio. So I've got it in the wrong folder, is what I've got. Looking for... There it is. My frog bog. Which I did not use a reflect map for the chrome. We'll let it load. Alright, come on. I've got so much stuff open in this. Alright, there we go. My little cyber frog piece. Where I've got the bog reflected. Rex Christian's bog here reflected, and then there's a little bit of Cyberfrog's face right there. We can
you gotta, yeah, of course,
right.
Oh,
So his face is actually reflected in his shoulder pad.
Yeah, Chrome gives you a lot of possibilities.
Oh, that's the wrong button.
You could do your simple reflections like you were showing earlier, just black lines, or you can go all in and reflect the scenery, the characters.
And there's the back of his head.
Oh, you got interesting frog skin texture as well.
Oh yeah, I went funky with it, man. When you work it digital, you can get crazy.
Yeah, all sorts of brushes.
Yeah, and so yeah, I had fun with that. Yep, different. No reflect map on that one. Reflect map? No reflect map. I'll get into like a bunch of different stuff. So, what do you consider your style specifically? What do you like to like? You'll do what a project needs. If I have like a specific style, it would be that I like to put as much detail as needed into a picture, like, and no detail without purpose. I love that. I'll never be doing chrome, I don't think. Hold on, I'm having a less desolate moment. When I see that, I just think of how at the end of a piece I'd rather destroy it than continue tweaking. Right? Yeah, no, chrome's a tough one, but it was good practice to go like, okay, no reflect map. Like, I'm actually going to draw a distorted reflection, which I kind of messed up on the shoulder and stuff here, but I gave it the old harder try. And this one was just classic. Like, I'm going to draw shiny 90s chrome, and I'm going to leave this with minimal definition because that's kind of like a glowy bit right there. Right? Like, this one would look great colored. It would. And like this is kind of like a meeting point between the two, where it's like, yeah, I just kind of really loosely did the major strokes of stuff is being reflected, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, say, I just saw it. There it is. Okay, good. This one, which is the other Fembat piece that I did.
Oh, okay. That's the one you were talking about, dancing under the moon.
Right. Which I totally cheated. That's an actual picture of the moon.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I converted it, look at that, all the way to monochrome. Playing with levels. So that actually is like, there's no gray.
Pure black and white, yeah.
Yep. Ready for print. Right? Ready for color. But yeah, in the chrome in this one, kind of a little bit of like a light reflect map, but with stronger light coming from the sides. I don't know. I was feeling frisky, and I wanted to, because she was a go-go dancer before she was turned to a vampire. So I was like, I'm gonna have her do like a dance move.
I didn't know that.
like she's mid-step, and she's shifting her weight, frozen in a moment of time. But if you draw, center line, center of mass, right? This is about where her center of mass is, right here.
Yep. And she's got her arm out to counterbalance the leg.
Right, so she's in the middle of a step. She's in the middle of a motion. And I don't know. I sometimes I get artsy-fartsy, dude. I really do.
Oh, I hear you, man. I mean, you got to keep it fresh. You got to discover stuff, When we talk about style, like the artist that always comes to mind is Jay Lee. That dude, like, pushed it all the way he could.
Dude,
like, he went extreme. Yeah. I would love to do, like, a short story and explore I was
pals with Sienkiewicz, and then, he went off the deep end politically, and I was just like, dude, I can't deal with this, dude. Like, this is not healthy, and it's flooding my Facebook feed. And so, I just washed my hands, dude. I was like, good luck, man. Because he's a really nice guy in real life. He's a good person, but he's so stuck in that political mire that it's ruining him, dude. It's not good for your health to be like that, And he's an amazing artist. I love that stuff. David Mack,
Oh yeah, David Mack.
Another amazing, just this
Kabuki,
like David Mack, Sienkiewicz, Jay Lee, like those are guys that I look at that just kind of really push the boundaries. Like they bring in. I consider all three of those guys to be more fine artists that do commercial art.
Especially David Mack. He's doing a lot of watercolors himself.
That guy is
found, like, I think there's a book where he's pasting leaves in the book, and like he's not. It's not surprising to see him go do wild stuff like that in his book.
Yeah,
and they read more poetry than action comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's a true artsy fartsy type guy. No, he really is. But that stuff's really cool. Whereas, like, on the other side of that, you have somebody like, gosh, his name was right there. What is his name? Does the amazing paintings. Alex Ross.
Yeah.
Alex Ross.
Kingdom Come.
Right, is a comic artist who uses fine art techniques. Right? That's different. These guys are fine artists who do comic books. Right? And I throw Jay Lee into that because he throws in, like, that guy is slamming down, like, raw emotion on a page. Like, he is not afraid to absolutely destroy a page in the attempt of telling a story. And he is great for visceral stuff, dude.
Dude, his Youngblood strike file has almost zero backgrounds. It's all like this stuff here at the bottom. It's all like toothbrush splatters of ink. And he makes it work. It's like you're not even missing the backgrounds. You're like, why am I wasting time drawing backgrounds?
Yeah, no, like the whole time you're just like, by the time you hit the end of it, you're like, wait a minute. Where did this all take place?
I don't know, but it was green and red.
Right? It was in Toxicolor. Dude, He-Punk's got awesome backgrounds. Just as much background as me. Dude, I'm so digging it. I missed that one, but I'm going to pester Vasilis once I have the money. I'm just going to throw money at him until he gives me a copy and tells me to shut up and go away.
I'm hoping he goes for print. I'm hoping he finds, like, someone to do the printing and distribution, perhaps in America, because he's having issues doing it back in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm having a hard time, like, buying a very expensive PDF. For me, it's
it was outside my price range. I just can't afford it, and then I've got this medical bill and I've got to get the art supplies. And I was like, dang, man, I really want to get this, but I could get 5 comic books for that price. I can go support 5 other creators and get their digitals for that price. And I'm willing to pay. I was willing to pay the price. I just don't have the money. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, Critical Blast. Yeah, there's some good printers in Greece.
Yeah, but then you gotta ship it out, and when every one of your buyers is American, what's the shipping from Greece to America?
Oh yeah, no, it's broken, is what it is. No, you've got to have. Now you can now Critical Blast. He's got these shipping nodes around the world.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like you need a distributor. Critical Blast.
Yeah,
I need to talk to that guy. I might.
And this is a good point. He knew digital would be less back, so hopefully you can better gauge the physical sales and cuts, right? And that, like, there were a lot of people who were very, very critical of his decision to do that. I was like, no, I see what he's doing there. He is getting that first round, that principal investment, right? Yeah, he could have sold that digital for half the price and gotten 3 times as many sales. Could have tripled his sales. He could have sold it for 1/3 of the price and quintupled his sales. Like, that would have been huge. Even just digital, people would have jumped all over it for 100 pages.
When we talk style, dude,
stuff.
the stylist is like one of the most stylish art in Comicscape.
Yeah,
like he is on par with Jamie Hewlett from Tank Girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've read those early Tank Girls.
Yeah. No, you're preaching. Yeah,
very anatomically correct and dynamic and stylish. And then it goes Looney Tunes when it needs to, kind of the same way that mangas do. So there's a little bit of manga-inspired stuff, though it doesn't look like the Japanese style. It's just it's something that
I want his
beautiful.
I want his I Love Comicsgate shirt, the anime chick. I do want that shirt, and that that one right there. He's selling that for like $23, $24 over on Teespring, which is like. That's like their tiny little markup that they suggest that you have on their product. I'm very familiar with print on demand. I'm like, cool. So it's not a cash grab. It wasn't get initial investors, get him solvent long enough that he can. Because I was looking at it. I was like, he just needs to he wants to get solvent. He wants to get a core following, which is very important because your hardcore fan, your super fan is worth 500 regular fans. And your super fan is going to go ahead and purchase the expensive item right there. So getting a feel for good market dynamics is he has an extensive background in high-end commercial art.
Oh, hold on, I gotta plug my computer in. Be back in a sec.
Yeah, sure. He's got a background in high-end commercial art. This guy just hasn't been screwed out of, like some stuff, man. That guy's been done wrong. Like, he's out millions of dollars been done dirty. So is what it is. Holy moly, we have been. Okay, yeah. I just have to do it. Hardcore fan, I just need to have the money for. Yeah. No, honestly, like if I had the money and if my wife didn't know where I slept, I probably would have pushed to get the physical tier. To get that collector's edition, only 50. Like, for real. Yo, Ben, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, there we go. Sorry, I gotta turn my camera off here. So I gotta.
Insulation.
Oh boy.
What a show. Insulation. Here we go. Uh-oh. Oh, now it's like, no. And you gotta fix your camera thing. But you can press the stop cam on the thing, because I think you turned off your camera directly. But anyway.
Speaking of Faber-Castell, doing a back to markers, I tried this one out. This is a white marker.
Series.
Yeah, yes. But it's white.
Yeah.
So this actually can cover up ink. Not perfectly the first time, but if you go over it twice, it's like spotless.
Yeah, 2-3 coats of that, and it's absolutely fantastic. All right, Ben. Hopefully, you get your audios. Yo, Casey's Creepy Creations. What's up? What's up? What's up? How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. We're gonna have to. Oh, Frederick is muted for a second.
Yeah, just was manipulating some bags behind the scene. I didn't want to make the whole lot of noise on the mic.
I dig it. I dig it. Let's see here. So yeah, the frog bog. Difference between not using a reflect map, but reflecting the environment, and using a reflect map. I had fun drawing this one, man. Michael Ortiz, the creator of Arachnis, likes to come on the studio too. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude, man.
Nice.
Dude, I love this one so much. Like, I
oh
want
yeah,
them to...
the Roman soldier, or
Yeah,
is that a Greek soldier? Yeah, the Spartan.
Yeah, it's Achilles.
Achilles. Oh. Right.
Yo, Ben, what's up, man? Welcome back.
All
Welcome
right,
back.
there we go. Let me know if the mic's all jacked up or not.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, I'm in the garage working on the CNC stuff. So, all right, I gotta get in here if my phone will let me. Whenever I've tried in the past, it's had problems, but my computer's all disassembled.
I dig it. No, dude, StreamYards and phones don't work, but I hear that the app works pretty decent for phones.
Oh, I didn't know there was an app.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that. But we got your colors right here up on the screen.
Yeah, thank
buddy.
you.
Hey, you're welcome, man. No, that's what we do here, dude.
Yeah, but
we get the word out. Sorry, go ahead.
all right, let me see if I can finish muddling my way through that. Sorry, I'm boomerang it hard over here, despite being 32.
Remember, if at first you don't succeed, get a bigger hammer.
Yeah, it's true. But no, it's just kind of funny. Like talking about like the digital and Vasilis, and like I love his art. I liked him back whenever he was Marduk Knight, and I talked to him a couple times. I was like, dude, like I feel like digital just like isn't right for like this audience. People like have said repeatedly that they're not really into digital all that much. Yeah, they want to hold a comic book, and he was like, yeah, I know, but like I'm just trying to get the capital.
Right, and that's what I perceived. I was like, okay,
like betting on me
enough time
for
in
producing
business.
more stuff, and I'm like, I get that,
Right.
but it's still going to be tough.
Yeah, it's an uphill fight. Like if he had, even if it was just purely digital, but he had sold it for like a third the price, like $10. Dude, he would have made so much more money. But I get it. It's a strategic thing, which leads us into, actually into our thing. What I was going to start today. So, going forward from every digital bullpen, we will cover a little bit of Sun Tzu's Art of War and how it pertains to comics. Right? I thought this would be a fun little thought exercise. So, Sun Tzu says, "The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected." Right? So
it's like the beginning of the book, if I remember correctly.
It is. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. So who's the state? The state's your company. Right? That's your little holding, right? Life and death, self-explanatory. Either you're going to make money, or you're going to go broke doing it, right? And you can either be comfortable in it, or it can bankrupt you. We've seen it happen. Look at poor Jimmy Reyes.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I feel for that dude. He's a good man, and he just messed up, and it kept spiraling out of control and out of control.
Yeah, I feel for him because it can get overwhelming, especially when you're dealing with a lot of cash. You can also burn through it quickly if you don't manage everything perfectly, and
Yeah.
you can get yourself in
It
a
can
tight
hurt.
spot. Yeah.
That's why starting with today's digital bullpen, we're gonna go over this line by line, point by point, and we're gonna do a thought exercise, and we're gonna play it because we want to win, dude. We want to win, and I look at some of these people's successes, and I'm like, okay, what do they do right? What have they not done right? And if they're succeeding, then they're doing something right. Right? Is that something that I want to do? Is that a tactic that I can use? And whatnot. And like Napoleon said, amateurs debate tactics, professionals discuss logistics. And here I'm going to have Ben Fuselier, a Fusebox, creator of Outlaw Nights. We're going to get him here on the program. And I was joking. I've been joking with him, giving him a hard time. But like one of the things I want to talk about is the success of Outlaw Nights #1, because he's got #2 that's out, and as of late last night, it was almost funded. So hopefully it is funded. Yeah. Now for real. And Cautionary Tale. Oh my gosh. We cannot bring up Cautionary Tales without talking about Critias and Detective Dead. Or Brad Ashworth and Handyman.
Oh, I don't know any of those.
Yeah. Now Brad Ashworth, I don't know how much he funded, but Handyman never came out. He ran into a whole bunch of problems in real life. And he ended up using campaign money on medical bills or something like that. And it was like, dude, no, you go to debt on those medical bills. You fulfill your obligations first. Right. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I hope he's doing well. But I know that life just started kicking him around.
I mean, you're not.
Handyman never came.
It's not his money, but
yeah,
it's a really tough decision to be put into with that. Choosing between your health and.
Yeah, and the medical industry, they are bullies. They're evil. I'll tell you right now. I've got a bill to pay. I'm gonna put this. Where is that? There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna be auctioning this off. The bidding will start at $50. I'll be posting this and keep it pinned to my ex. As soon as I find her. Give me the stapler. No, wrong ex. I meant the Twitter ex. Okay.
This will be pinned to my ex-girlfriend until it's sold.
Right. Until it's sold. Now you have to do what you have to do, but if you ever want to enter the space again, you fulfill the damn books. Yeah, absolutely true.
That's the thing.
And poor Critias, he's still working on Detective Dead. He's still doing what he can. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't know how to take compliments. I'm so used to being yelled at.
Well, Tank, if I ever tell you a compliment, I'm going to scream it at you so you can.
Okay, good. And shake, lots of fist shaking, lots of.
You did a great job shaking his.
Frackle. Yeah, poor Critias, man. Like, he funded over $40,000, over $44,000 in Detective Dead, early days of Comics
pretty
Game.
good.
And, like, this is Comics Game just taking off. Like, he's a nobody from nowhere and all this other stuff, and he was hanging out with Ethan and stuff like that. And it's one of the reasons why Ethan is very particular about who he gets on the show. He's actually the reason why Ethan created the rule of you have to fulfill a crowdfunding book before he'll even begin to thinking about letting you on or bringing you up.
Yeah.
And Critias was out there in the chat dropping like $100 super chats, misappropriating the funds. Like, Yeah.
We could do nothing to stop them.
Yeah. Let's see here. It says, I like Kelsey Shannon, but I back Scribbles, and then he disappeared after an update like a year ago that it was tweaked and headed for the printer soon. Ooh. Yeah, you can't disappear on people that you owe stuff to.
Dude, I'm so terrified of doing something like that, a mistake like that. That's why I'm making sure the comic is going to be completely done before I start my campaign, or like just waiting for a few pages from the colorist or something like that, you know? But damn, yeah, no, because your reputation is at stake. And even with the guy you just mentioned earlier, it can have repercussions beyond just yourself as well. Because Ethan is changing the way he's promoting people. Other people might be more, wary buying a next book because of that.
When I'm in a back room and somebody starts talking trash about somebody I'm working with, I go, look, dude, I'm working with this person, so I don't need that kind of crap on my lines. Oh, but they're a so-and-so and they're a such and such. It's like, look, I'm just doing business, dude. So mind yours. Please, with all due respect. Like, I told some people the other day that if I ever hear the terms Dungeoneer or Throat Goat ever again, it'll be too fucking soon. Like, I'm so sick of it. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Like, it's so stupid. Show me the book. Like, for real. I don't care. I don't. Like, I'm to the point of, like, I'm going mad. I'm losing my sanity. I don't care. I want my I want to get like the Cyberfrog action figures. I want to get all that stuff. I want to get all the Lost Pages stuff. I love that stuff. That's what I'm here for, man. I get along with these people that don't get along with each other. This is an old story of my life. I've always just been that guy who just kind of like, I'm a little bit of a social butterfly, dude. I get around. I go around to a lot of different crowds, and I'm like,
cross circles, and
yeah. I'm that guy in the middle of the Venn diagram, going, just me, dude. So and so has a beef with so and so. Well, you know what? That's between y'all. That's between you two, and you should handle it in private because it's kind of silly to do it in public. But then you run across the Jerry Springer paradox, and sometimes sometimes you just gotta pop some popcorn, right? Sometimes you just gotta pop some popcorn.
Yeah, drama fills seats. We hate to it. No one's gonna admit that they're like watching drama, but when drama's there, the numbers are there,
Right, poor Liam Gray, he started that kind of talk show kind of thing that he had in the early stages of his old channel, his Conquest Comics channel, and before he rebranded to Unintelligent Design, it was like, dude, you already had the Jerry Springer show. You can't get away from it now. Like, oh my goodness, no, that's really, really tough. Like, Jerry Springer couldn't get away from Jerry Springer. That's why I call it Jerry Springer paradox. After all the Too Hot for TV stuff wore off and lost its appeal, Jerry Springer tried to take his show back to what it was originally, a legitimate daytime talk show. And his ratings imploded. So sometimes you're forced into a position. It's like, okay, then blood it shall be. And he can pay the bills.
Drama doesn't really equal sales, though.
No.
A lot of the people that are in the
necessarily
drama actually don't buy books.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, but the sales figures are fine. But what I'm saying is, like, when you have your point of marketing, right? Because all the folks who do the drama streams, they have really good sales. They'll point at each other and say, "Oh, they're collapsing. You have terrible sales, dude. You're making over $500,000 on your projects." I think you're doing okay. Right? You're doing fine. Yeah, no,
making anything on their books is good. If I make like
but
$100, that's cool. That's good for me.
right? Yeah, no, for real. Right? Let's be real. Like if you're making, if you're pulling in more than $15,000 on a project, that is that's fiscally viable. You're more than at that point you've got the paycheck and you're more than breaking even on a company side of things where it's like, okay, now the company potentially, depending on how well you you handle your finances and your materials, from your materials to your vendors to your manufacturing, on out to the customer, you probably have a little bit of a war chest to do the next project. So about 15,000, right, for a floppy size thing. If it's a thicker book, probably closer to like 25 to 30. Let's see here. It says there'll always be a percentage of watchers that convert. It might be less with drama, but if you have 3,000 viewers with a smaller percent, and here's the thing, it's actually got a really high turnover. It does. I look at the numbers. Okay, 15,000 views. You can assume that most of the views are repeat people who come again, not first-time viewers and stuff like that. So probably a total number of around 20,000 solid impressions, right? And then, these books, they have thousands of backers. So say you've got 20,000 impressions, you probably get another 10,000 impressions from across other social medias, but probably not. There's not a lot of paid advertising going on. Like, these guys aren't paying. They're being paid to advertise. I'm sorry, man. If I built my brand that way, I'd be out there for the super chats too, because that's more money, and it is what it is.
Doesn't seem to justify really late books, though.
Yeah, but that's a harping thing, and we've proposed the solution to that, and that is that is a better production discipline. Having a good production manager. That was our solution that we came to on that. And unfortunately, there are things going on behind the scenes with that stuff. And it's most people deliver their stuff within reasonable margins. Right. But, if you've got, say you've got 30,000 impressions and you're rolling that over into 3,000 sales, that's nuts. In the world of marketing, that's insane. 5%, that's a 10% turnover. 5% turnover would be a brilliant marketing campaign. The people ragging on Eric July, you got 200 viewers, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, that's concurrent live. And you go back and you look, and it had like 12,000 views. And
figure it fluctuates.
And then, I'm just going with average numbers, but that converts into 1,200 sales, right? We're just taking a look at the worst case. It's still 10% turnover. That's nuts, dude. That's crazy. I wish I could have turnover like that.
I do too. Although I will say that Melvin 4 is all out of pocket.
Right.
Except for maybe the distribution and putting the book together. So that's all. That's all from.
And it's true. People like that. I'm like, look, before the book, if you're really upset about late books and stuff like that, get your refund before 90 days. Right? There are consumer protection acts in the United States. And since you're purchasing this product that is produced in the United States, congratulations, overseas purchaser. You get access to these protections acts. So you can legally request a refund before 90 days after the thing was supposed to be delivered. If you know that it's not going to be delivered, just get your refund. After 90 days, shut up. I don't mean that to be a dick, but God dang it.
Some of these guys are going to their, fraud protection and filing that.
Yeah, it's too late. Statute of limitations, and it's not fraud because the books are in production. So that's that's gonna fall apart right on the surface. It's like, oh, are they actually working on it? Is it going as quickly as it should be? No. Then no. There's no argument for it. It's just Twitter bullshit. Yeah. And it's like you can see someone's track record, quality work, smart consumer can make their decision. Well, any consumer can choose, and art is subjective, right? There are people out there that have zero problem with EDS and hate his artwork. I think it's absolutely. There are people out there that can't stand EDS and think his artwork is great. Same thing could be said with anybody out there. There are people out there that absolutely hate my art. They think it's just trash from day one. Right.
I would, and I have no nice things to say about EVS, but early work not so great. Later work better.
Yeah, I think I love his work, and we both have a love affair with tiny pens for different reasons.
Yeah.
You know,
and this is coming from a guy who he trashed the cover to my third book because I dared to put out 2 polls asking a question.
Hey. And you got to do it though, you know. And look, like I tell people, like any schmuck can have fans. You're not somebody until you have people who dedicate their lives to hating your ass. So, all things fair, regardless of all this stuff and the reception and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, total number of subscribers. That's not a pure indication, especially when your primary thing is short form video. Right? They come there for their news. They come there for their opinion piece on the news. They're not there primarily as a comic fan. But, you know, Yellow Flash's thing, he burned bridges. And it's a lesson to be learned. Never attack a fan base. Fans are going to buy what they want to buy. Art is subjective. Storytelling is subjective.
Yeah, he burned that bridge, but he closed down the Comicscape group, and I think that was one of the things that bothered me the most. I'm like, oh, you've just bothered a lot of people who were connecting together. Yeah,
dude, and he wouldn't call, you know, and like this is the thing. I don't call the Rippaverse fans names. I don't think that they have a lack of intelligence. I think that they like what they like, and same thing with Comicsgate fans. The people they like what they like. Art is fucking subjective. All right, it's an opinion. Everybody's entitled to it. Art is fun. It's supposed to be fun. You know, I love Matt Barr's art, but god dang it, man. Dude needs to take a break from the internet. For real, bro. Like, and it's a whole bunch of, well, he called me a poo-poo face, so I called him a doo-doo mouth. You know, oh my god. I just want to tell my kids to shut up, stop it. No, I'm being an asshole again. No, but for real though, right? It gets into that. It gets, and I'm like, bruh, you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait till I actually am big enough to have have a serious internet beef, because I'm gonna have Scalpel Zero teabagging their character. That's going to be my argument, my return argument, you know?
Keep the beef on wax.
Yeah, dude. No, for real. For real. She can be twerking and farting right in their face.
Well, I got jokes. I got material that I can't even put through Critical Blast that makes fun of certain people.
Well, you know, dude, and
certain people don't want that smoke, you know?
I wouldn't go after the prison. I'd go after their creation. No. Let's duke it out. We're going to duke it out. We're going to duke it out between the pages. Like this piece right here. This piece that is for auction. Opening bid of $50. I'm going to be holding this. We'll collapse this auction. We'll announce the results at the end of the Hump Day show on Wednesday. So, and this is a 9x12 on 110-pound rough texture paper. Like, it's some good stuff, though, dude. It's 110 pounds. That's thick stuff. See? It's been Fabulous Frogman team versus Larry Higgins. And there's so many knockoff Niobes. See, that one's great. Like, Larry went and did something that is against all netiquette. And he went and had somebody's campaign taken down for a bogus copyright claim. And so, yeah, I'll go ahead and we'll be doing that. We'll hold the bids publicly pinned to my X account. And the retaliation has been artwork. And poor Harry Liggins. Poor Harry Liggins. Right there. Let's go to the... Where did I hide that for myself? There it is. Poor Harry Liggins. Ben's colored version right there. You know, so...
Damn,
look.
no punches pulled there.
Right.
I was working on a parody of that Pigman character. It's called Pork Dude.
Right. Dude, like JDA, he did all his parodies of all those characters and stuff like that. Like, he's been beefing with Ethan since like day one. And honestly, like, Robo-Toad was not Robo-Chode. That was different.
Oh,
that was the penis. That was the police officer that had the balls for wheels. That was from Finatra. Now, Robo-Toad was like, he looked like a bronze version of the robot Ninja Turtle. He really did look like that. Yeah. So,
well, I was gonna like,
and that was cute. Yeah. That was cute. You know, like, hey, you know, if we're gonna beef, let's beef in the pages. You don't think Marvel and DC have made, you know, parody versions of each other's star characters just to make them look like absolute jackwagons?
Dude, half of their characters are just riffing off what the other guy was doing. They were even beating them to print. They had spies working in the other company, would feed them the information that they were planning
that all started from the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby beef.
Yeah, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Julia Schwartz.
Oh, Julia Schwartz, huh?
Julia Schwartz versus Stan Lee, and the war started over Jack Kirby, but it was still, they were doing that before that even. Basically, it was Jack.
I just wanted to make fun of one of the jokes I was working with was what's his name? The guy who created Pigman was trying to say that the N-word, hard R, it shouldn't be forbidden. And like, the only reason why you would say the N-word, hard R, is if you're going to say something racist.
Well, no, not necessarily. I've never used that word against a black person in my life, but I have referred to several white people by that word.
Well, I mean, GA or hard R.
Yeah. No, I know what word you're talking about. It's a gamer word.
Yeah,
and you know why we call them gamer words? Because their only purpose is to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah, it's not always in a racist context.
But it is, that is a fighting word. And fighting words are not necessarily protected by the First Amendment here in the United States, the free speech. I'd say I did stutter. They're not protected. And if you get popped in the mouth for that, that's on you, bud. And Supreme Court's got your back for getting popped in the mouth.
I'm just saying, like I guarantee you, like, a good percentage of the time, you're trying to say something racist.
Yeah, I'm telling you're seeing it in the tunnel. Listen, my granddad had a dog, black dog, and he was called the N-word. Okay,
right.
And we were living in a French place, like, so it's not a common thing to say. There was no black people in the area.
Right.
He just picked it up.
That's a weird word.
It's weird. Yeah, I'll give you that. But was it a hateful, racist intent? Was it a joke? You know, the people are overreacting to words and pushing the punishment way beyond what even violence is getting.
Yeah, no, it's all silly. H.P. Lovecraft's cat. Anyway, it is of that time. We've gone for a while. I gotta go. I'm now streaming over Rex, so make sure you go head on over to Rex Christian. He's got the 4 o'clock shadow going on right now. I'm streaming over him, so this is me. I gotta run. Make sure that you follow Timothy Olsen and Frederick Guimont on here. And remember,
I forgot to send you those links. I need to remember that.
Oh yeah. Send me stuff. Yeah, folks out there, send me links to your trailers and all this other stuff. If you send me your trailer, like someplace I can just download the file. And I've got some people that have done that. I gotta go do this. Get them uploaded into the rack here. Let me know when your campaign expires, so that way I can pull it from my thing, and we can spread love on some stuff out here. And you know what? We'll let the fans decide. It's the ultimate blood sport. Let the market decide who wins. We'll put up product A versus brand X, and have at it. So head on over to Double.
You know what the best way to get around being canceled is?
Don't care.
Tenacious promoting and networking.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, because I got canceled. So, and it wasn't even the nice kind of canceling. It was the glass wall. Like, yeah, you're not big enough. We don't care. We're just not going to call you back. We're not going to talk to you, and we're going to sneak around behind your back and tell people what a piece of garbage you are. Yeah, that's you. Yeah. For real, just do it. Get out there, do it. All these guys, look at these guys. They're all doing so great. So, we'll talk more about the art of war, because sometimes, and it's not necessarily due to conflict. Right? It's not necessarily a conflict there. People
It's a strategy.
go there.
It's a strategy book, The Art of War.
That's right.
CEOs study it.
Yeah.
Did I miss that
when
when
to comics?
Yeah, did you talk about that already? Did I miss all that?
I did. Yeah.
Damn it.
Today we were just talking. Today was real simple, and we just went over the basics of it. And tomorrow we'll talk about it some more. Anyway, gotta go. Rex is live. Ciao.